Hi, this is Kendall Boyson, professional life and recovery coach, and you're listening to Encouragementology, the practice of instilling hope. You're listening to Encouragementology, and we are talking about next steps. Dream, plan, execute. It's time to move on. No more shoulda, coulda, wouldas. You want something new, different, better? It starts with you, believing in yourself and transporting your thought process to a new dimension. Yep, I'm talking about dreaming. It's where all great ideas start. This time, imagine yourself in the center of it all, having exactly what you envision. Where are you? What are you up to? It's fun to escape the reality and the pressures of the day and wake up in a wonderful dream. Snap! Okay, next step is to develop a plan, solid yet flexible. Every good journey starts with a roadmap and some provisions. Then comes the fun part, and sometimes frustrating part, the execution. Having a hard time getting your engine started? It's okay, you aren't alone, but set it on cruise for at least the next hour as we walk through these steps and more. If you could unhinge yourself from where you are today, get plucked out and plopped into another place, time, situation, or career, where would that be? And what would you be doing? I'm sure this isn't the first time you've been asked to dream or the first time you've caught yourself thinking of something or somewhere else. Dreams come in all shapes and sizes and varying degrees. You might imagine selling it all and moving to the Caribbean or just an easy change to your weekly schedule. No one is judging your dream and the rate in which your mind travels. Just open it up to the possibilities and let go. Sometimes our dreams are limitless, like we rubbed the lamp and are presented with just 3 wishes. Remember doing this as a kid? It never failed. One of your friends would ask for something dumb, and everyone would be quick to let them know that they just ruined one wish. They would egg them on, bigger, bigger, think bigger. Don't just ask for $1 million, ask for all the money in the world. Why did you ask for a bicycle? You'll probably get one for your birthday. You just wasted a wish. But some dreams are just on the other side of a challenge or obstacle standing in your way. They represent freedom. If you could just get to the other side. It's all part of the process and borders the wall of the plan. It's natural for your mind to shift to problem solving in the plan once you've landed on a dream you want to execute. So like you would tell the young you with 3 wishes, go bigger. Let's talk big picture vision right now. Jack Canfield is a guru of visualization and setting goals, and I found an exercise to help us through this. This particular one was adapted by Catherine Beard from theblissfulmind.com. But the core is definitely all Jack. This guide will help you open your mind and dream a little. Take a moment to grab a pen and paper and jot down some notes, and then you can formalize your dream at another time. Here's a musical interlude while you grab your things. Do 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 do. Okay. Of course, your dreams and goals are going to change over time, but let's focus on what you want right now. You don't have to figure out your entire life right away, but doing this now will give you a little more direction. Ready to write? Number 1, financial. You know, we all love to talk about money. How much money do you make annually? Remember, this is our vision. We're visualizing ourselves. So we're not talking about today. We're talking about what we want to make. How much money do you make annually? What does your home look like? Think about that. What do you want your home to look like? Big vision. Where are you living? What type of financial freedom do you have? Something to think about. Number 2, remember, you can write down the questions right now and then come back to them and answer the questions. So we're just looking for an outline. Number 2, career. Where are you working? What's that dream job look like? What are you doing? Who are you working with? Is this by yourself? Are you looking to go into business with someone? Are you looking to create more of a team? Number 3, recreation. What do you do in your free time? Now, if you're overworking yourself right now, free time may be anomaly. What hobbies are you working on? What do you like to do in your free time? Where are you going on vacation? Where do you want to go? Where do you see yourself in this big picture vision? Number 4, health. What are you doing to stay healthy? What does your lifestyle look like? What are you eating? How do you stay fit in this big vision? How is your health? Are you free from disease and illness? Number 5, relationships. What is your relationship with your family like? Is this something that you want to grow and strengthen, and in your perfect world, in your big vision, you live closer, maybe you cohabitate? How often do you see your friends? Maybe this is a goal, a bigger vision. You want to spend more time with your friends. You want to make them a priority. What type of romantic relationships are you in? Are you looking to couple up, get married? Number 6, personal life. How are you improving yourself as a person? What does this new picture look like? What are you doing to personally develop? How are you nourishing your mind, body, and soul? What kind of goals are you working towards? Are these life goals, personal goals, spiritual goals? Number 7, community. What type of communities are you a part of? What is your role in your community? How are you helping others? Do you see yourself finally getting room and compassion to share and grow in your community, help others, start programs, volunteer? What does that look like in this bigger vision? Your bigger vision doesn't change as much as you might think it does. Our vision, dreams, and goals are often deeply ingrained within us and our values. Priorities, however, can change. Things that were once at the top of your list can be pushed aside because another priority takes precedence. And that's totally okay. Don't worry about whether your vision will make sense in years to come. Just focus on what you want out of life at this current moment. It's important to paint a visual picture of what you have in your mind. Consider putting together a storyboard, either cutting up magazines, drawing pictures, creating inspirational messages, or even changing your desktop background and starting a new Pinterest board. Whatever will put your dreams in front of you on a daily basis. There is power in visualization and writing it down. Now, Matt and I are very goal-driven, and several years ago, we started a new tradition. Every year, at the end of the year, we list all the things we accomplished that year. Not a blow-by-blow, just big picture. It's always surprising and a great way to get an aerial view of gratitude. It's so easy to forget all that you've done when you're still plowing through the list. So take a moment to reflect and celebrate. Next, create your list for next year. Even though this is our year-end tradition, you can do it at any time. Why not tomorrow? Make a list of all the things you want to get done. We have a journal to log these lists so we can keep it all together and have a great place to visit and reminisce. Have you ever been told you can do anything you want? Well, you can't. Not to burst your balloon in the midst of your dream, but we are moving on to the planning phase, and it's time to get realistic. That doesn't mean you can't try and push yourself, but you might have to be flexible enough to modify your dream to match your capabilities. Let me give you an example. You've always wanted to be an astronaut, and at age 50, you finally decide to add that to your vision board. Well, you might never make it to the moon, but that doesn't mean you have to give up on your dream of astronomy and travel. How else might you fulfill this passion? It's important to dream big without limits so that you can stretch your mind and explore all the possibilities. But a plan is a roadmap, and it takes a vision from a daydream to a reality. You might have logical limitations, physical limitations, or just obstacles and weaknesses. Let's focus on the things in your control that might be holding you back. Start with the first dream on your list. What is preventing you from achieving this? Put them all into the following buckets. First bucket, logistics. Is it just not possible in its current state? Could you envision a modification that would still address your passion, but better align with your capabilities? If yes, set aside some time to dig into what that looks like and something that still gets you excited. Second bucket, resources. What would you need to pull together to move this idea from dream to reality? Is it time, money, knowledge, proximity, etc.? The third bucket, obstacles. What stands in your way of getting to your goal? Confidence, ingenuity, time, self-doubt, priorities, etc. Okay. This is a logical way to work through your list. They are all important, and that's why you wrote them down. But a good place to start is low risk, great reward. So let's start with the last bucket, obstacles and or weaknesses. List all the dreams that qualified for this bucket. And then next to each of those, list what could be standing in your way. Maybe it's something you've always wanted to do, but as soon as you let yourself dream, self-doubt creeps in, and you talk yourself out of it. It might be negative self-talk inspired by limiting beliefs. Somewhere, someone told you that you couldn't. You don't possess the skill, talent, or natural ability to have what you want. Time could be an obstacle and a weakness. You've created a schedule so rigid that it doesn't allow you to dream, explore, and try new things. Overcoming this could be as easy as realigning your priorities and letting go of things you've inherited but shouldn't be responsible for. Work through this list in that manner to gain a clearer picture of what stands in front of you. If you make it to the other side, you've already come farther than most people do in this process. How many times have you had a dream and immediately shot it down with the first sign of resistance? Dead in the water, and that's why it still remains a dream. Our plan is to take it to the next phase, execution, and you're almost there. What took years to deny only took moments and a little soul searching to uncover. And now you find yourself on what feels like the edge of a cliff. You're terrified of what might happen if you allow yourself to go there. You're tempted to turn around and go back to where it's easy, convenient, and less demanding. You've done it so many times before. So why is this time different? The time is different because you've done the work to remove the obstacles and modify the goal. How you see yourself has fundamentally changed, and that's why this time you will succeed. Want a reason to jump? Here are some things that happen when you finally decide to live your dreams. I found by Benjamin P. Hardy for Success.com. You'll see it everywhere. Once you commit to living your dreams, the lids blinding your eyes will be lifted. A completely new world will be open to your view. You will notice opportunities that have been in your reach all along, ones your conscious mind simply didn't pay heed to. From a physical perspective, your selective attention will zoom in on what you want in microscopic detail. All other sensory inputs will be outsourced to your subconscious and forgotten. The fundamental change taking place is your self-identity. This is the point of no return. Once this shift has happened, your whole world changes. Nothing becomes impossible to you. Your only limitations are your consciousness, which is quickly expanding. Whatever you want quickly becomes yours because you see what most other people don't. Now that you can see it everywhere, you are sprinting. You'll have boundless energy fueled by purpose. After you've crossed a threshold of decision, you will find a new wellspring of energy, one that appears to be infinite. You'll no longer need to rely on willpower. And once you've moved beyond will to the why, you no longer have to coax yourself into action. The decision has been made. Your internal resolve and zeal trumped external stimuli, no matter how difficult. You'll learn, grow, and understand. Once you've made the leap, you'll have a thirst of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. You become both student and teacher. You'll become a sponge, soaking up everything you can, creating loads of neural connections and schematic networks. With enhanced consciousness, time will slow down for you. You'll make connections others don't see. As a result, you cement your knowledge by generously sharing it with others. You'll apply what you're learning. Thriving is all you understand anymore. Mediocrity is a mismanagement of your innate human potential. As a result, you're constantly applying new information to accelerate your progress. You're a scientist of life, experimenting and trying new things. When something doesn't work, you don't persist. You cut your losses and move on, detached from the need to be right. Instead, you want to progress and understand and serve. You'll realize all of your previous fears were unfounded, allowing you to embrace future fears. A person who hasn't yet reached their goal is still often clinging to the highly ambiguous theories. There's still doubt about whether things will actually work out, but when you fully commit to your path, you are freed from this dichotomy. When the why is strong enough, the how is easily found. Now you see fear as part of the process, as a signal you're moving in the right direction. You'll stop worrying about and instead anticipate the future. Once you've made your decision, you have nothing to worry about. You are a magnet attracting nothing but brilliance. Every day is a step closer to your ideal than the last. The future is only getting better and better. You are in creation mode. You're no longer chasing happiness. Happiness is within you. You have embraced who you are, so you're not trying to compete with some external indicator of success. You know success is inevitable because you're in alignment. Every day, your external world more closely matches your internal reality. People will enter your life to help. When you are on a dedicated mission, people will come to your aid to help you make it real. Mentors who will teach and radically accelerate your progress. Fans and supporters. Students who want to learn. Haters. These are just as necessary as the others who enter your life. Your relationships are by far the most important aspect of your journey. You will be attracting the right people in your life when you start doing the work. It begins with an initiative and openness. Once you're ready to learn, you'll have teachers. Higher up the mountain, your work will attract the very people who will help spread your message and forward your cause. You'll have bouts of doubt, though, but remember, they don't last long. From time to time, even after countless pieces of evidence that you're on the right track, you will be tempted to revert. Doubts will creep in. You'll question everything about yourself and what you're doing. You'll go through periods of time without success. Things will appear to be falling apart. This is a crucial part of the process. Indeed, far more fundamental than what you do is who you become. Growing in consciousness and progressing as a human being is intended to challenge you to the core. Most people take the path of least resistance, and this is not that path. Living your dreams is not a cheap experience. It is supposed to require some effort, something from the depths of your soul. So, when you're tempted to quit, you will need and you will dig deep. And if for some reason you decide to quit, that will haunt you until you rectify that decision. As Oliver Wendell Holmes Jr. said, a mind that is stretched by new experiences can never go back to its old dimensions. You can never go back to the way things once were, even if for a time you pretend to. No matter how devastating your doubts, you will eventually regain the hope you once had. But now, it will only be stronger and more solidified. You'll feel inclined to do things you never considered before. You're no longer rigid in your thinking. You're open to whatever you feel inspired to do, even if in the moment it feels extremely uncomfortable. You can no longer operate based on how you're feeling in the moment. You are completely open. You are moving. You're no longer stalled or questioned when you get a prompt. You respond immediately and automatically. And when you act on these impressions, you never regret it. You only regret when you don't act and are left to wonder what might have happened. The more open you become, the more you find yourself in places you never thought you'd be. You'll progress quickly at anything you undertake. Once your decision has been made, you're no longer restrained in your abilities. Instead, you're enhanced and consecrated in your performance. When most people rely solely upon themselves, your abilities are channeled and heightened by a source beyond your own. Those with this mastery approach who seek learning with an intrinsic desire to improve are the people who become the best in the world at what they do. Remember, success is not born, it's made. Nothing will seem impossible to you. Anything and everything could happen. And being open to that fact allows you infinitely more options than those who put an invisible barrier on possibility. Without question, you must believe what you're doing is possible. As Napoleon Hill said, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. You'll have little interest in what most people are entertained by. Beyond your point of no return is freedom. Freedom from triviality and mediocrity. No longer will you be able to engage in gossip or other destructive activities. These things simply don't make sense to you anymore. Your entertainment is learning, growing, and connecting deeply rather than surface level. Even the small and simple things become significant and allow you to be fully entertained with a moment of thought by yourself. You'll live more holistically. After you've had a radical shift in identity, you realize that human beings are holistic. When one area of your life is out of alignment, every other area of your life suffers. And you're increasingly aware when your top priorities are being neglected, you protect the essentials. When you improve one area of your life, you grow in all areas. Consequently, every small and incremental victory you experience creates a surge of momentum towards your ultimate idea. You'll no longer fear losing it all. You are already complete. No form of success or failure will change that. You're no longer attached to your reputation, accomplishments, or possessions. If all of it was somehow lost, you'd have complete confidence that you could continue moving forward. You'd adjust and continue to expect the universe to conspire for your good. This perspective allows you to be more authentic and free. You're no longer trying to please everyone around you. You're going to do what you believe you should, regardless of the outcome. If things fall apart, you don't perceive it as negative, but positive. As Ryan Holiday wrote in The Obstacle is the Way, there is no good or bad without us. There is only perception. There is the event itself and the story we tell ourselves about what it means. You'll have more responsibility. The constraints of responsibility force you to think more creatively. Responsibility qualifies you to show up at a higher level. When you start taking your dreams seriously, you will not initially be qualified, but as you take on greater responsibility, you'll become qualified to do what you need to do. You'll grow into your responsibilities and have increased power and influence. You'll often be misunderstood. By nature, having a sense of vision is weird to most people. Being real and authentic is weird. It's unusual and it's rare. It's peculiar, and many people will misunderstand you. A lot of people won't get what you're about or why you're doing what you're doing. Most of them mean well. They simply don't get it and are afraid of what they don't understand. Others will understand you. They'll support you and cheer you on. Don't take these people for granted. You need them more than you know. You'll have way more time. When you commit to going for it, you will excrete the elements of your life that just don't fit. You'll repel people who poison your spirit, and you'll attract mentors who help you progress. You will build a team that multiplies your work and takes care of the moving parts. Your life will be simpler. You will be focused exclusively on things which matter the most to you. You'll be holistically healthy. You'll make time for fitness, learning, engaging others, rest and recovery, and a sense of adventure. You will be living the abundant life. This is the most natural way to live. It's the life of creation and power. We may have taken this hour and made it sound so simple, but the fact is, it is. The steps just take a little work, thoughtful strategy, and a willingness to try. Day 2 of execution takes drive, the staying power to stick it out no matter what comes your way. You could find that on day 32, your dream might need some re-engineering or your plan might need some modification. You might even find that your execution efforts have been spotty at best. Don't pull the plug. This is where flexibility comes into play. No need to scrap the dream and beg the genie for another turn on the lamp. Just take a moment and re-envision and revisit each step. This isn't an all or nothing process, and you deserve the added effort. So let's pull out some golden nuggets so we have something to work with starting tomorrow. I know you've taken some notes. I hope you've written down an envisioning plan, and I hope you went through the exercise. Remember, no more shoulda, coulda, woulda. We are going to pull the trigger and move forward. So remember, we talked a little bit about the dream. Really going outside of your general understanding and dream big. Remember rubbing the lamp. Bigger, bigger, bigger. Come up with what you want to do. And it doesn't have to be to save the world. It could be, what do you want to do now or next? I have been watching a lot of Caribbean Dream through binge watching, and I am just transported to a more beautiful, relaxed, luscious lifestyle. So I'm thinking the Caribbean diet is not only losing pounds, but saving money to afford a beautiful vacation or maybe even a dream home. So what do you want to do next? Come up with that idea. Remember the visualization exercise, those big life goals that we wrote out? Financial, career, recreation, health, relationships, personal life, community. The bigger picture. What do you want it to look like? We have to visualize ourselves in that type of lifestyle in order to set some goals to go for that. Remember, we also talked about what might be standing in our way. We talked about those different buckets. Once you have your list of things that you want to do, now what's preventing you from getting there? Is it logistics, resources, or obstacles? We need to know what we're dealing with, right? Low risk, high reward. Let's prioritize that list in order to shoot straight. Next, what's it going to take to get over that? Is it something that you can control? Is it something that you need to explore? Maybe get with a professional, or maybe take a course, or maybe do some research. What's it going to take to get to that? We talked about how you can really leap forward once you make the commitment to move forward. Once you have that laser focus on where you want to go, the steps in front of you, the world just opens up. Remember how when you're car shopping and you find that car that you really like, all of a sudden you see that car everywhere, right? Same thing when you get laser focused on one thing, everything helps propel you in that direction. So we talked about all of those different things that might help you, give you some extra motivation to stay on course. What is going to make this new approach different than a traditional New Year's resolution? You got a great idea, you try it for a couple days, you hit a little bit of resistance, and all of a sudden, not ready. Granted, some things have a lot to do with timing, but perseverance makes a huge difference. So you have to make that commitment to yourself. You also have to make that commitment out loud. maybe to your accountability partner. Put it down on paper. Share these wants, needs, and goals with someone else to make it real. Bring it to life and help yourself stay accountable. If you want to share encouragementology with a friend who needs to know they're not alone in this journey of self-discovery, you can visit encouragementology.com or anywhere you stream your content to receive this episode and all others. Follow us on Facebook for additional encouragement throughout the week. So I challenge you, open your mind to limitless possibilities. Grab a dream that has been swirling around and design a plan that meets yet challenges your logistics, resources, and weaknesses. You deserve to see what's over there on the other side. I know you can do it. Thank you for listening to Encouragementology with Kendall Boyson, where we find positive ways to handle some of life's challenges.
I stumbled through until the path was clear.